Good morning, it's 6 a.m. GMT. You're listening to the Star Breakfast News with me, Nanama Acquah. Here is what we have coming up. Ghana expected to receive third tranche of IMF $3 billion bailout later today, Monday, after the executive board approved a $360 million payout to the country. Meanwhile, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin vows to ensure that EC conducts the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections in a fair and transparent manner to avert chaos.
Sometimes take so many things for granted, including my colleagues in parliament. But we all get witness what happened in Kenya. It's now in Tanzania. It could be in Ghana.
And later, Ghana Real Estate Developers Association welcomes LI proposed by Trades Minister seeking to regulate pricing of cement in the country, as it describes the current pricing system as one that makes effective costing difficult in the real estate sector.
We need to sit at the round table, come up with regulated formula that we can all relate to.
We have these details and more coming up soon. Do stay.
Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, MyStar Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Star 1035 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM. Star News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
This is the Star Breakfast News. On to our first story. Ghana is expected to receive the third tranche of the IMF's $3 billion bailout later today, Monday, after the executive board of the Bretton Woods institution approved a $360 million payout to the country. This decision comes after Ghana finalized the deal with its official creditor committee, a prerequisite to unlock the second tranche. Meanwhile, a joint press briefing by the IMF and the Bank of Ghana to provide further particulars on the latest release. Here is Star News' Nadede Tete with the details.
The IMF stated that Ghana's economic reform program is delivering on its objectives, with growth proving more resilient than expected, inflation declining faster, and the fiscal and external positions improving. The IMF also noted that Ghana has continued to make progress on its comprehensive debt restructuring, reaching agreements with its official creditor committee and Eurobond holders, which provided the necessary financing assurances for the second review under the extended credit facility arrangement to be completed. Ghana is expected to receive the third tranche of the IMF's $3 billion bailout later today, after the executive board of the Bretton Woods institution approved a $360 million payout to the country. Here is Ghana's Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam.
We expect to receive the third tranche of $360 million by Monday, 1st July 2024, which will bring the total disbursement $1.56 billion.
The finance minister said that further details will be disclosed later today at a press briefing.
I am very confident that we can travel this journey together and bring back an economy that is strong enough to deliver the benefits and the development to you all over the country. Further details will be provided on this during a special joint press briefing with the IMF and the Bank of Ghana on Monday, 1st July 2024 at 12 noon.
Ghana sought financial support from the IMF in 2022 due to a sharp decline in its cedi currency and soaring inflation. This economic distress was driven by the spiraling debt service costs following years of overspending, the COVID-19 pandemic, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and the high global interest rates.
That was my colleague Nadede Tete with that report. Now, over to something else. Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagmin has assured Ghanaians that his office will ensure that the EC conducts the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections in a fair and transparent manner. He warns that the country could face similar issues to Kenya if proper measures are not taken. The Speaker gave the assurance during a press soiree in Kumasi.
The 2024 election is a very serious election, and I want all of you to be up to the game. The place, as usual, is heating up. We don't want to experience any violence. We want to have a free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. I am not waiting for anybody. I have taken up the mantle with the support of leadership in Parliament, both MPs and staff. We are reaching out to all stakeholders, and I made this known on the floor. So I held a meeting with the chairperson of the commission, and she gladly embraced the initiative for us to work together to make sure that the process and the operations and the D-Day and after all becomes free, fair, transparent, and credible. I have reached out on this matter to the Chief Justice. She agrees we should do that. People sometimes take so many things for granted, including my colleagues in Parliament. But we all get witness what happened in Kenya. It's now in Tanzania. It could be in Ghana.
Now, the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association has welcomed an LI proposed by the Minister of Trade and Industry, K.T. Hammond, which seeks to regulate pricing of cement in the country. The minister believes the LI, when passed by Parliament, will prevent customers from being fleeced. This news, however, did not sit well with the manufacturers of cement. Now, the Importers and Exporters Association are demanding the LI be thrown out of the Legislative House. However, in contrast, President of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, Patrick Ebo-Bonfo, says the LI would ensure effective costing in the real estate sector.
There should be a price mechanism, just like it has been introduced in the petroleum sector, where there is a mechanism and a method where these things are done. That's the reason why they can come out and say, oh, by the next pricing window, diesel can go up by X% and petrol can go up by X%. It helps businesses to predict and to plan. You see, so at the end of the day, we are living in this country. So if one sector is going to think of they themselves and just be tripping us with price increases every week like that, what will happen is what the gentleman was saying a short while ago. Their businesses will suffer, and if their businesses suffer, the country as a whole suffers. And the manufacturers themselves, will suffer the worst, right? Because they produce the cement, and the cement will still sit at their warehouses and their factories.
Very well,
so we need to sit at the round table, come up with regulated formula that we can all relate to.
You heard there the president of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, Patrick Ebo-Bonfo. Now, traders and business leaders in Ghana are calling for the complete removal of the electronic transactions levy, which is e-levy, on mobile money transactions. Implemented 2 years ago by the government, the e-levy was intended to raise additional revenue to support government programs. Now, the applicable charge has undergone reviews to protect lower income consumers, but has had limited impact. My colleague Rosamond Acquah has been engaging with the business community and brings us this report.
Mobile money has significantly improved financial inclusion in Ghana since its introduction, bridging the gap for the unbanked and providing employment opportunities, particularly for the youth. According to the Bank of Ghana's summary of the economic and financial outlook for the first 4 months of the year 2024, the total value of mobile money transactions reached 779.1 billion Ghana cedis, representing a 41.55% year-on-year growth. However, data revealed a slight decline in March 2024 to 181.9 billion Ghana cedis followed by an increase to 203 billion cedis in April 2024. Despite its positive impact on economic growth and financial inclusion, the business community argues that high tax burdens, including the e-levy, have driven many to revert to using physical cash.
Because of the e-levy, even if you want to send to somebody, if the person is not far, what the person will say is that maybe if you think you are not far, you meet me here and give me the money. Because I can sit here and send money to somebody in Timpani or even in Boku here. But imagine sending money up to 50,000 or 10, a huge money. Then either you go to the station and get a colleague or a friend who is going to maybe Boku or Bolga, then you give the money to the person, or you go to the bank.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Engineer Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, noted that although the levy was reduced to 1%, the sector is experiencing only nominal growth. He expressed hope that the levy would be scrapped.
I'm hopeful that come January 2025, whether it is Vice President Baumia or is ex-President John Mahama who are president, e-levy will not be a thing.
Well, that's what we have for you for the Star Breakfast News with me, Amma Acquah. Have a blessed day.